Shut up and sit down.
Alright, time for another history lesson, everyone. Now, when most people think of Nazis, they think of the gray trench coats and the peaked caps. But before that uniform, there was another uniform, and it was brown. Now, the brown shirts, also known as the stormtroopers, were the original Nazis, meaning they were Hitler's supporters before he rose to power as Chancellor of Germany. Now, unlike their gray and black counterparts, which would come much later in history, the brown shirt's uniform was originally not part of any government branch. The uniform was more of a symbol that you supported Nazi ideology, the same way today that wearing a MAGA hat would mean that you support Trump or wearing a pussy hat would mean that you're a feminist. But what separates brown shirts from these modern-day examples are the tactics that brown shirts would employ in support of their ideology. The brown shirts were used as Hitler's political shock troops. When he would hold public speeches and he would be challenged with counter-arguments from dissenters, the brown shirts would descend on the dissenter with clubs and drag them out of the building. But the brown shirts didn't limit themselves to simply silencing critics at Nazi rallies and providing a safe space for Nazi propaganda to spread unchecked. They also went on the offensive. If a rival political party was holding a rally or some sort of peaceful assembly to convince people of their cause, the brown shirts would crash the event and use heckling to stop the speaker from being able to talk. They would also get into violent brawls with their political opponents in order to silence them. You see, while Hitler might have been evil, he definitely wasn't dumb. He knew that the only way that a message of hate and intolerance would be able to thrive is if reasonable dissenting voices were silenced. Thankfully, nothing like that can happen today. Thanks to the tireless efforts of anti-fascist groups, or Antifa for short, we don't have to live in fear that club-wielding thugs dressed in quasi-military uniforms will show up to peaceful political rallies and commit acts of violence. Wait, what do you mean those weren't all pictures of Nazis?